You guys ever heard of a flying saucer before? I'm not talking about aliens. These don't travel at the speed of light. What I'm actually talking about is the sport of disc golf. You might think that seeing one of these flying saucers isn't something that you regularly see, but if you look behind the Lawson parking lot, you might just find one for your own eye. Today I'm going to inform you about the sport of disc golf, which according to the Professional Disc Golf Association, or the PDGA, is one of the fastest growing sports in the United States. Disc golf, which is sometimes referred to as frisbee golf, has been a sport that I've been playing for more than 4 years. After a while, I wanted to get better, so I started watching YouTube videos on how to improve my technique, accuracy, and my distance. I also watched videos of the PDGA, where I saw pros manipulating the disc in ways that I didn't think were even possible. With the knowledge that I've gained researching this sport, along with the prior knowledge that I've had through the 4 years of playing this sport, I'm the person to go to undoubtedly for everything disc golf related. The reason I've decided to inform you all about disc golf today is because a lot of people want to do more than just be bookworms all day in school. This being said, disc golf is a sport that can be played by anybody with a course located right here on campus. In order for you all to become disc golf gurus, I'll talk today about disc golf from its history to its relevance today and its similarities to golf, which is a sport that almost everybody knows. I'll begin chronologically with the fascinating history of disc golf. The most important aspect of disc golf is by far the founder of disc golf, which is Steady Ed Hedrick, with his many staples that he left in the disc golf community. He founded the first course in 1975 at Oak Grove Park in LA, according to an article by the PDGA. This was originally an 18-hole course with nothing more than just poles in the ground, but since it's evolved to a year later in 1976, there was baskets put in, but then up to the current day, it's a 21-hole course with a unique layout. Ed also founded the PDGA in 1976, which really helped kickstart the growth of disc golf. The PDGA was an organization where local clubs had a feeder of players that provided new money to courses to be built along the country. The PDGA continuously generated a steady source of income, which made this possible, and it gave Ed an opportunity to promote his new sport in ways that he didn't even think were possible. Once he realized that this was a sport that could actually take off, he resigned as the VP of WAMO and actually tried to support his family off the money he could make from promoting disc golf. In the summer of 1976, he sent a letter to about 100 of the top professionals that invited them to join his PDGA for a lifetime membership, then costing only $10, which today would be about $45. After that, he began directly selling memberships to players at tournaments across the country, the first one being at the Boulder Flying Disc Festival in July of 1976. His success in kickstarting the sport carried over to its vast popularity today. What came with an increase in the events around the country was a correlating increase of its popularity for everyday people. The sport became a popular one to be set in parks and neighborhoods across the country. And after opening the first course in 1975, according to an article by Ray Oldowski and John M. McEwen, by 1990 there were 250 courses along the country, and by 2000 there were more than 800. More currently, by 2010, there was a vast 2,700 courses in the contiguous United States. Most courses were purposely set in these parks and neighborhoods because they're residential areas, and they offer the people in the areas a sport that they could actually indulge in themselves. Once a course is installed, the only necessary upkeep is eventually replacing the metal baskets once they become unplayable. But then a course that I actually play at back in my hometown, there's a course in called Lipple in Crystal Lake that has had the same baskets for 27 years and are still in good shape. According to an article by Infinite Discs, a majority of these disc golfers range from 18 to 50 years old, which more supports the reason for these courses to be set in the parks and recreational areas. Disc golf's popularity is traced back to many factors, one being that it is very similar to a sport that we already know, which is golf. Disc golf is played similarly to golf, with the differences in rules and equipment not being that hard to pick up on. According to an article by Leving, Schreiner, Matzoff, Neighbor, and Robinson, a disc is thrown from the hand instead of a ball being hit by a club. Instead of putting the ball into a hole to complete the hole, a disc is thrown into a series of metal chains that puts the disc to rest in the bottom of a metal basket. Discs are created with a lot of different styles and weights, which offer a variety for people seeking a different combination of distance and accuracy. The discs can weigh from anywhere about 120 to 180 grams. According to ANOVA discs, different weights suit people from different styles in terms of accuracy and power. Stronger players are able to throw heavier discs, which propel the disc a lot farther distance, up to 350 feet to an average player, than someone who's a beginner that only throws about 200 feet. Associated with any disc is its speed, glide, turn, and fade flight characteristics. Speed, which ranges from ratings of 1 to 14, 14 being the highest. If you want to throw the disc far, you should choose a distance driver, which has a high speed rating. It has an aerodynamic edge, which allows for it to fly farther, but also sacrifices accuracy. Glide, which ranges from 1 to 7 ratings. Discs with a high glide rating do exactly what you might think they do. They maintain loft during their flight. In the wind, usually you should use a disc with a low flight rating, or a low glide rating, sorry, to provide a more stable flight so the wind doesn't catch it. Turn ratings, which range from +1 to -5. For a right-hand backhand throw, which is a throw from the right hand, releasing it across your body, the discs with a negative turn bank to the right during the beginning of their flight. And what this means is when you throw the disc, it initially turns, so if I'm throwing it this way, it initially turns to the right and then fades off to the left at the end, which is its fade, to provide a generally straight flight. In conclusion, the world of disc golf is a fast-growing and appealing sport to people of all ages. From its history to the prevalence today, disc golf remains a sport that impacts the lives of many people for years to come. Where will disc golf be decades from now? It's almost impossible to say. But one thing I can say is that people like me are trying to introduce the amazing sport to more and more people every day, and that alone will never change.